Hello YouTube, I'm back again with another rant video. I'm going to be talking about this particular situation where you have this drunk girl, judging from that, you can't tell who she came from. So she supposedly came from a strip club because they didn't need her, probably because she wasn't worth the time, as you can already tell, and on her way. Apparently she was intoxicated, but you'll find out sooner or later that she was drunk. She hit several cars that were parked. And before I get into the details, when I, like judging by look, if you look at her carefully, does she not remind you of the Uber girl who spat on the driver when he decided to park the car and then drop her off in the middle of nowhere or whatever, or like especially when it wasn't her destination with all her like ratchet friends, and then they decide to punk the guy and attack him. Kind of reminds me of her, but mainly because of the appearance. But overall, she's not as aggressive. Because if we talk about the Uber girl, this is a girl who's been known for being very spoiled, like this girl, but not as spoiled. But I'm not too sure for myself. But she's been outed a lot by her father, also being known for getting several charges. And this is gonna be, I'm guessing this is the first charge for this girl. So let me get straight to the point. So this girl is basically another Uber girl. She's whining, she's crying, she's like, oh, I just want to go home, please let me get an Uber. It's funny because I was just talking about the Uber, because and it has something to do with Uber, because she just wants to go home. She doesn't want to take any responsibility. She even said it herself, she doesn't care about what she did, because she thinks it's not a big deal. This is what happens when a person is that self-entitled that they don't care about their actions, regardless how horrible it is. And let me show you how horrible the accident is. Jeez, Louise. Basically hit like 3 vehicles. You could say it was 2, but it was actually 3. Because there was another car, there was a blue car. But like over here, because those are the cars that were parked. So, onto this girl. So the police, they ask her questions. You can tell I'm pretty sure they're aware she's not in the right state of mind. Ask her several questions they want to check her visual prowess. They want to check her like eyesight. They ask her if she's intoxicated, but then she tries to talk over them. She tries to cut them off, but because she knows she's possibly she might go to jail. That's what should be her biggest fears, but not thinking about what she did. And then, like I said before, whining about calling her parents. Like, when I think about it, this is probably someone who, I don't know, I can't really be that judgmental. This is probably someone who's really hasn't faced that many consequences in life, especially if they're a kid. Because yeah, some people may have probably there are probably kids or people who never got in trouble when they're in school, but they get in trouble in real life. Because sometimes that can dictate that. You may have never been in trouble in school, you may have been doing well, but then when you're an adult, when you reach your adolescence, there comes a time where people are going to feel like now they're entitled, they've gone through that, they've been way too nice for several long years. Now it's time for them to enjoy and focus more on themselves and not have any consideration for others after, because they consider their life their own and they feel they want to live it as the amount as they want, as how much they desire. Is how much they desire in order to satisfy themselves. And this girl clearly does not get that opportunity. She's not entitled to leave this situation, because guarantee you, this is why there are people who talked about. I've taken the time to hear people's opinions about drunk drivers and them losing their family members, them losing someone close to them, and it really sucks, because you know what? They even say that people like her deserve more time. They don't deserve any sympathy, because yeah, you may be intoxicated. Sure, you're not aware of what you're doing, but it's also your responsibility. That's the thing what these adults don't realize. It's your responsibility as an adult to be aware of what you do in life. If you're gonna go behind the wheel, you have to be sure that you're not intoxicated, because they're clearly aware. Like even after they decide to drink whether it's a bottle or two, or depending on the how much alcohol they consume, like whether they are depressed, it doesn't matter. They think they're focusing only about how they feel. Now it's time you got to think about what could have about being careful and not trying to get to avoid being in that situation, because she wasn't thinking about trying to be careful of the situation, trying to avoid it. Because you know some people don't feel that calling an Uber, like, for them they have to pay, they have to spend money, and they feel they are capable. There are people who are willing to drink and drive because they feel they are capable of getting home safe. And it's due to that the ignorance, because people don't want to end up paying more just to go home, and they're worried about leaving their vehicle. So the point I'm trying to say is that people usually drink and drive because they don't want to actually, they want to avoid leaving their vehicle where someone else might tamper with it, or might notice it while they're not there, and then possibly something might happen while it's gone, while they're not even there with the vehicle. Because like I said, there there are possible plans that could potentially happen to the vehicle. It could be someone might decide to damage it, break into it, steal it. So that those are their second thoughts, that like, wouldn't it be best that I drive my vehicle so I can be there for my car? I can get home safe, rather than trying to not rather than potentially think of the lives they could risk. But yeah, there are people who said that that those people, like drunk drivers, don't deserve any sympathy whatsoever, because it's really hard, because those people, like, I kind of stand where they come from, because people like this, people who drink and drive, don't really understand what it's like to lose a close family member, or a close friend, especially one who didn't deserve it, who had potential in life, who might possibly be already succeeding, who had a lot of who had a lot of steps forward coming for them, who've been moving on and who've been pressured, and then being able to be at that position that they are now, and then all of that to fall and crumble because of that one person who decided to make a stupid decision and not think about the lives of others. Because it may be overall, maybe in the beginning, they may have thought they weren't going to harm somebody, but at the end of the day, it's their responsibility not to drink and drive. Because that's the point I'm trying to make. They may not be willing to, they may have not had plans to hurt somebody, but how the parents look at it, or the people look at it, people with morals, they look at it as if they have every right to be angry at the person, because they look at a person who is just very selfish, who only thinks more about themselves, and then all that anger, they let that anger pursue them, and they're willing to go after the person, even physically harm them. And it gets to the point that now you can, these days, because you know in the world we live in, you can't trust people. That's how their mindset works. Especially when you lose somebody, especially with an incident like this. Whether it was an accident, I don't know. Like, I'm not to say I'm not God either way, but like, clearly I can tell you right now, she's not in the right state of mind. Her only fear is going to jail. Her only fear is like what will happen to her when she goes there, how long her sentence will be. Because I don't know because one thing I'm wondering is that I didn't see any bodies. Like, I'll show you a picture. Okay, no, I honestly at first I thought that was a dead body. If you look at it carefully, I thought that was a dead body, like a dead child or a dead animal. But I'm assuming it's like a piece of clothing. But my thoughts is like, if she did kill someone, her sentence would have increased. But lucky her, like, she should be considered enough to be happy enough that she's even alive. That's what she's not thinking about. She doesn't realize that she should be lucky that she's alive right now. Imagine if someone was willing to follow her and take it out on her because of what she did right now. She will probably have to live the day that she regrets. I don't know if she will regret it, but the only thing she regrets is going to jail. She doesn't care how people will feel for her. All that matters that when because all that matters for her is that she wants to make it out of prison. She doesn't want to go there. Is that because she, like I said, she was pleading. She wants to go home. She wants to see her parents. Like those are the signs. The fact that she was calling for her parents is enough to say a lot about her. That she feels that she doesn't need to be punished, that her actions are not as a big deal, and that she feels like by pleading and asking for her parents that they can somehow bail her out. But at the end of the day, if maybe this is not maybe this is a one-way ticket for her to realize how reality works. And again, all that crying, you don't see any tears like from this picture. There's no shedded tears whatsoever. It's just whining, literally. No crying, no actual tears. Just someone who's just unhappy that they couldn't have their way and get out of the situation and make it out there, because now she realized that her freedom might be potentially gone for a long time or forever. And again, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Be sure to wait and check for more upcoming content later in the future. Be sure to check your notifications, comment, like, subscribe. Thank you.